Hey everybody, this is Chris Holcomb with another fantastic video. What I wanted to talk to you guys today is just to clarify some things for people who are evaluating deals. If you're doing in Detroit, if you're doing outside of Detroit, there is a difference. Primarily, you have a rental market and you have a retail market. So, first and foremost, let me explain it. I do business in Detroit primarily. I do some in the suburbs. Primarily, I would say probably 80% clip. Detroit is a rental market right now. You said, why is that? Well, that is because you have a lot of people losing their homes. Banks are not giving any funding right now. Some may, very little, to buy or get a mortgage, FHA, conventional, to buy a property in Detroit. Because first of all, the market values are so low. So right now, most people with bad credit are getting better opportunities to land a contract, which makes it more of a rental market than a retail market, unless you can give them that financing that they're looking for. But right now, it's not really available. So it's more of a rental market. If you look in the suburbs like St. Clair Shores, Bloomfield Hills, Southfield, some parts of Southfield, a lot of parts of Southfield, Royal Oak, those are retail markets. That's where people, homeowners, home buyers that's got mortgage, that got 20% down, they can go ahead and get them a nice mortgage and buy your property. So you have to think about what deal you're doing. If you're doing it as a wholesale or if you're doing it as a buy and flip, is it a retail or a rental market? I say primarily on a retail, your rehab can go anywhere from probably 15 to 60,000 easily, even more. Depends on the market, depends on what the property can sell for. On a rental market, the most, if it's completely trash, especially in Detroit, you'll probably do 20 grand. If it's more than 20 grand, it may not be worth your time. As I just told you, the market for properties here are not that high. Now you have certain areas in Detroit that could still be retail, but it's only small areas. You got Rosedale Park, which you still get rental projects there. You got Sherwood Forest. You got Midtown now, which is crawling for opportunities, but they're more commercial than residential. And if you do get a residential, they're historic, beautiful homes, so you know you definitely got to put a lot of money in those properties. So you have to realize that on a rehab, or when you're evaluating a deal, is it rental or is it retail? Because that tells you what this project is. If it's a great property and you're getting it for, let's say Livonia, that's a retail market area. If you get a property for $40,000 and the ARV is $100,000, that's not rental, that's retail. So then you also got to think about who you're trying to pitch this property to, and also giving them the ARV, what you think on a ballpark figure of an estimate, so they can evaluate it or give them all the answers pretty much to let them know if it's a good deal or not. Same way with a rental. In Detroit, the prices will really be dramatically below. You might get something for $15,000. You know, hey, after you rehab it, you probably can put it on the market for a rental and you're doing more per month valuations than you are doing selling, unless they're going to wholesale it to somebody as a turnkey property. And most properties are either way between 25 to 50 at the most in Detroit. So you got to evaluate the deal that way too. So when you're evaluating the deals, just make sure you know what the market is, because you don't want to make that mistake. Second of all, if you're going to buy and flip, if you're doing that 70%, 65%, you do that in the suburban areas or retail markets. You don't do that in a rental. Because if you do that, it's not going to sell to a homeowner buyer. So it's going to sell, that figure is going to throw off all your numbers, and then you might be putting too much rehab price in there, which is not bad if you're playing conservatively, but if you put too much literally, then it's not going to be a benefit to you. You want custom in a rental, it's not going to matter, versus custom in a retail, which does matter. So think about that. Just want to break that down, because we talk a lot about Detroit market, and people be like, oh, what's the rehab on that? If you know your market, you'll know it's a rental market. You'll know your rehab is going to be around this price versus that price. Bathrooms, kitchens, and bathrooms is going to be different dramatically versus retail versus rental. So be aware of that. If you got any more questions, definitely hit me up. I'll explain it even more in depth. Always willing to help. As I go through my journey, I've learned that, not really the hard way, but I just learned that, because you got some markets that are iffy, and if you do an exquisite job, you still won't see and it could be a rental market, a retail market. But if it's also mixed with rental, you have to be aware of that too. That's why doing your due diligence is key. But as always, because I don't want to give you guys a 7 or 8 minute video, I'm trying to keep them short, give you 5. If you like the video, like it, subscribe, check out my other videos if you didn't like it, because I might have some ones you do like. Always stay consistent, stay focused, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Y'all have a good day.